Hey there, folks. Here we are. It's Friday again. So it's time for another Fortissimo. Fridays at 5 o'clock with flavor. My name is Laurelann Porter, aka the flavor of the rhythm and flavor. And today I want to talk about food, really, and flavor. Um, so I am on day 12 of a 6 week, what do you call it? Elimination diet protocol. So for about 6 weeks, I am going to be eliminating everything that might possibly be causing some of my root health problems. So, no breads at all, no dairy at all, no eggs. I have to be very particular about the meats I choose, they have to be organic. No processed meats. I'm allowed to have uncured bacon, so I was playing with that this week. That was kind of fun because it's still bacon and bacon is tasty. But I'm really digging making my own sausage with organic ground pork and then just adding my own spices to it. That's been really tasty. And of course, always serving it with lots of fruits and vegetables. I've been eating more fruits and vegetables in the last couple of weeks than I have in a very long time, since the last time I lived in Brazil, probably. So here's the funny thing. I had heard from several sources, including, I think, in part of the information that was given to me by my naturopathic doctor about how it would probably feel the first week as if I was going through withdrawal symptoms. Uh, and I was really surprised at how few cravings I've had. And also, I mean, the withdrawal symptoms, I don't know what they were supposed to be. I'm still exhausted. I still have pain. But that's just like regular life for me. So that hasn't really been that different. The one thing that has been kind of different is I sort of feel like I have a little bit more life force, if that makes any sense. And I feel like my head is a little bit clearer. Um, I can kind of think more clearly. I still have a hard time getting energy and getting motivated to do stuff. Partly because every time I look around at the world today, it's just deplorable and depressing and heartbreaking. And I want to try to do whatever tiny, small thing I can to help make that a better place. So, in terms of so the food I've been eating has been really great, and it's been reminding me, it's been actually this whole process. So if any of you has ever been thinking about doing any one of these kind of like 6 week elimination diet protocols, um, I find that I'm being much more conscious about the choices of what I put into my body. So that can only be a good thing. And this is, if nothing else, this is an opportunity to take 6 weeks to cultivate better eating habits. And then at the end of the 6 weeks, if I want a glass of wine, if I want some eggs, if I want a piece of cheese, I can make that decision, but I will have already disrupted my usual habits of whatever I want. This morning, ironically, was the first time I was really missing coffee. So I'm actually allowed to have coffee, but I like my coffee with cream and sugar. And if I can't have it with cream and sugar, I probably, or not really cream and sugar, I do goat's milk, but I like the creaminess of the milk and I like, a little tiny bit of sweetness. I usually use raw sugar. So if I can't have the creaminess and the sugar, I'd rather just not have coffee. And I haven't really bought into the idea of having tea instead. I like tea, especially green tea. Green tea's the tea I really like with no sugar. I just like it straight up. And I know green tea's good for me, but for some reason I can't decide that I want it in the morning. Not the way I have loved to have my coffee. And it's really more of the ritual too. It's like the morning ritual of, just getting up as early as I want to. I like to wake up kind of early. I like to be up before everybody else. Um, and, just having my coffee slowly and making some breakfast and, sipping it while I do a crossword puzzle or some other kind of puzzle or a game on my iPad. Or sometimes I'll go outside and put my feet in the pool and just look at, the morning sun as it's coming up or just the day as it's emerging. It's a nice little ritual. And I know I can do that without coffee or with other beverages. But it's just, it's my coffee thing. So I may not give that up when I'm off of this thing. I may start that back up again. It's kind of a thing for me. But the thing that this has all really had me starting to think about is it's also making me a little bit more conscious and aware of just a lot of choices, a lot of life choices that I'm making. And it's making me wonder, why am I not already living my most fabulous creative dream life? Why are any of us not already living our fabulous creative dream life? What is stopping us from doing that? So I've been thinking about that a lot. I also got really excited last Saturday. I ordered some blank journals because journaling has always been a big practice of mine, and I sort of decided that I was going to treat myself as my object of inquiry during this time that I'm medical leave, so I can really consciously and purposefully, observe what's going on with me, track my thought patterns. In fact, my therapist said I should start being conscious of how I narrate things. So, and I hadn't realized I do that all the time. My imagination runs wild and I'll narrate these little scenarios in my brain and just kind of let them play out as little movies. And sometimes they're very glorious and happy, and they end with me celebrating, beautiful joys of life. And sometimes they end very bleakly and, end of the world kind of awfulness. So, and I recognize, I understand that thoughts make habits and behaviors, and so what you think can kind of become, we can perform it into action, essentially, or we can enact it, whatever the word is that you want to choose. But if we're not careful of how our thoughts play out, we can tend to, just fall into some negative habits. Also picked up a book at the recommendation of a friend of mine who is also a therapist, called You Are Not Your Pain. So I am giving my meditation practice a bit of a boost. I've known how to meditate. We learned, back in college in just about every other acting or movement or voice and speech class. I don't know that we were specifically calling it meditation then, but they're all types of meditation. The body scan one that I'm doing now is something we've done in, I can remember back at Boston University in those early days with our voice and speech professors guiding us through an awareness of, how our body is and what it feels like and what the sensations are and where gravity can help us and where relaxation helps us. So, I'm working on incorporating that into my world again. But also, this whole time has got me thinking, and recently there's whole stupid thing where, the certain illegal or illegitimate occupant of the White House right now. It's so weird hearing myself on a delay. I feel like it makes me delay my speaking and then I trip over my words. Sorry about that. Um, Numbnuts, as Mike likes to call him, came out with this thing about how we need to do patriotic education for kids in schools and that social justice, theories and training and education are child abuse. So, pardon my French, fuck that. That's stupid. It's one of the stupidest things he said, and he said a lot of stupid things. Um, but I do recognize that it's uncomfortable to look at our privilege, to examine our privilege, to question how histories of oppression have either benefited us or have kept us from living our most creative and amazing dream lives. So, we can't let that happen, please, everyone. Just, quit with the thought police bullshit. Let's maintain a progressive path towards, people caring about our fellow man and their inherent dignity and value. Like, why is this so hard? Why is this so hard for some people to grasp? It's maddening. It's really maddening. So, however, since we are this whole idea of questioning one's privilege, and certainly when I went to grad school, that was one of the primary kind of undergirding expectations, I think. Or maybe I put that on myself. I don't know. But, we learn a lot of critical theory, post-colonial theory, social justice theory. My eyes were opened about a lot of things. I thought I was a pretty smart person. I thought I was pretty progressive. I thought I, was a good person. But there are things, there's always things you don't know. And that's the thing that we have to accept. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. And so we have to quit pretending like we do. So the song I'm going to play for you guys today, I think I like this model where I talk a bit and then I play a song. This one is off of our album. So if you look at, I can point to it. Look, buy our music at therhythmandtheflavor.bandcamp.com. So this song is on our album. It's called Post-Colonial Blues. And some of you have heard it before if you've been watching our live streams, or even if you've seen me and Mike perform as the rhythm and the flavor out and about. This is one of the songs that, people say they love. It comes up a lot. It's one of our favorite songs to play. It's kind of a very simple little song. And it's the first one that we wrote together. We just wrote it straight up from scratch together. And we wrote it together. I wrote the lyrics when I was in grad school. And so learning about all these post-colonial theories, there was, this experience of, I might need to change my perspective on that. I think I may have done that in the past. Or, that thing that I've been doing that I think is helpful maybe isn't. Um, and so those kinds of realizations, they sting a little bit. Of course they do. And that's part of growth, right? We can't grow unless we have some sort of discomfort or sometimes even pain. Years ago, I did a short documentary on a person named Joe Dillard, who, I don't know if he's still there. He used to work at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, SWIHA. And at the time, he was calling his practice dream yoga. I think he calls it dream sociometry now. But it's a way of tapping into the characters in your dreams as sources of insights and even advice about your life. And so whenever he would meet with a new group, he would say, everybody wants transformation. Everybody wants transformation. They think it's really sexy, but it's not. It's hard work and it's really uncomfortable if you're doing it right. So this song, Post-Colonial Blues, I think is kind of about that a little bit. It's about like, oh, in order for me to grow and transform, I have to face some of these thoughts, perspectives, and realities. And so, since throughout the last however many hundreds of years, white people are really good at cultural appropriation. It's like one of our best things that we do. I wouldn't say it's our best thing, but we're really good at it. So right away off the top, the beginning of the lyrics are just flagrantly borrowed from one of the songs from the Frida soundtrack, the Julie Taymor film, which I think is an old traditional song. There was a very famous older woman who's a singer from Mexico who sang the song. And if I'm not mistaken, it's in a traditional song about La Llorona. But I just took like two lines, which, already post-colonial theory talks a lot about how white people have appropriating Black and Indigenous cultural manifestations for as long as we've been encountering the other. So it's certainly not a correct thing to do, but I wanted to go ahead and acknowledge it in the lyrics as well. So that's how the song kind of opens right away. But the other thing about this song is, my old mantra that I keep telling myself that I learned in a translations class with Gita Honegger. She was one of my favorite professors ever. It is a sin to translate, but it is a worse sin not to translate. So, and part of the reason that I wrote this song also was because, as I mentioned last week, I've got, a long and well-known love affair with Brazil. And certainly I think I fell into the, romanticizing and possibly exoticizing of Brazil, of Brazilian culture, of Brazilian people, Brazilian music, Brazilian dance. And so because that was also my proposed primary object of inquiry, I had to sort of go, oh, wait a minute, how am I approaching this? Am I just repeating the same things that other colonizers have done? Or is this something different? And if it's not different, how can I make it less harmful? So really this song is about grappling with how do I enter the engagement with this this place, this culture, this people, this whatever you want to call it, this thing, with the attraction and the love that I feel without imposing colonial oppressive habits onto the situation. And so that's where that refrain, sweet but not too sweet, comes along. Like, I don't want to get too close, you know, I'm an outsider, but I'm very drawn to this culture and the people, you know, it's just such a different world, especially in Bahia, which is where I really love to go. There's a resilience there, just an openness and a compassion and a friendliness that we certainly don't see here in the United States. You know, we are the land of fuck the other guy, right? Or at least that's Republican philosophy for the last 50 years. So hopefully the Republican Party can salvage its soul sometime in our lifetime. If not, I hope it goes away because it's not doing any good right now. But that is, I think, all I'm going to say for today. I'm going to leave you with this song, Post-Colonial Blues. If you like it, you can buy the song or you can buy the whole album, which is called Comfort Food, right? This is all about me learning how to resituate my relationship to comfort food. So yeah, this is Post-Colonial Blues by The Rhythm and Flavor. I hope you're enjoying your Friday. I will not have a cocktail with you because I'm still doing this, this elimination diet protocol. So enjoy your weekend. I'm like a chili verde, so picante but also saborosa. No me diga that I'm a colonizer, just because I love your virgin forest, 'cause you're sweet. Chocolates brancos. If you cleave me, my sangue is vermelho. Não me diga, mestiçagem é morto. Please believe me, I'm on the periphery of something buried in me, 'cause you're sweet. Deeper I go, the deeper there it is. Once again, thanks for joining me on Fortissimo Fridays at 5 o'clock with flavor. Check us out at the Bandcamp website where you can buy our music, The Rhythm and the Flavor.bandcamp.com. You can preview all the songs there, and you can buy one of the song or the whole album if you want. Thanks again. Have a good weekend.